Hi guys, welcome back to Byte Review. I've had my iPhone 10 for about a month now, so I thought maybe it's time to show you exactly what I've got going on with it and how I have it set up, and how that kind of compares to what I used to have on my S8. Now, I'm kind of trying to be minimalist as possible. I don't like it when like all the apps are totally full on the home screen. It looks really cluttered. It's always something I thought Android does better than iPhone, is to have, you can kind of clear it off and have a big clock here rather than just a big list of apps. But you know, iPhone probably is never going to really change that, so that's fine. But yeah, like I said, I don't really like having them all completely full, so I always leave a bit of a gap here. It kind of gives you a bit of a room to push around, which I quite like. I don't like the idea of like pushing on apps as such, so I always leave it pretty blank towards the bottom there, just to give you a bit of space, a bit of breathing room. Anyway, going from the top, we've got calendar, photos, camera and clock. Not really something I'll go into, but I do use them a lot, so they're along the top row there. Down a row, I tried my best to keep things all in like color coded. I know that sounds really sad, and it's probably because I am a bit sad, but I like the idea of having all blue ones, then all white ones, then all green ones, but it kind of got messy of the colors down here, so it doesn't matter. So these aren't really in usage rows per se, they're just kind of as colourful as I like them. Anyway, the app store's there, which is obviously where you get all the good apps from. One thing I have liked from returning to iPhone from Samsung and the Android world is that I think the app store's a lot nicer in general. It's kind of got a better vibe to it. There's more descriptions and nice things to try. I just like the way it's set out a bit more. It's a bit more, I don't know, it's kind of like more of a tailored interface as opposed to just a big list of apps that are all over the place. So I quite like that. I think Apple do a good job of that sort of thing. Twitter, which is still my preferred social media. You can find me on there at Byte Review. I always post things about what I'm testing and what I'm up to. It's probably the best place to follow me. I always try and post nice pictures as well of just stuff I've been up to and how things have been going. So yeah, follow me at Byte Review if you want to keep up to date on that sort of thing. Facebook, the Necessary Evil, of course, and the iPhone Mail app. I actually really like the Mail app on iPhone. I won't go into it because there's all sorts of emails in there, but I think it's quite nice. On third row, we've got eBay, which I kind of use to try and find phones to test. But they're usually quite expensive, so I've tried my best to not spend too much money on phones this year. There's YouTube there, which is obviously my absolute go-to. I absolutely love YouTube. Obviously make videos on YouTube, and I love watching videos on YouTube, and it's kind of where I spend most of my time on the internet. I really like following kind of like a lot of photography-based channels and all that sort of stuff. Mango Street, for instance, are really good. And I really like Ian Wong's Digital Darkroom, obviously Peter McKinnon, obviously Casey Neistat, all the other amazing tech YouTubers. And the quality is so high now that you'd be hard pushed to be disappointed with any of the YouTubers you follow now. That everyone's just so good. I love it. Anyway, that's YouTube. Then there's YouTube Studio next to it, which is what I use as a creator to kind of look at all the metrics and stuff. It's where I reply to all your lovely comments, or not so lovely comments, and it's where I see all of my stats. And it's kind of nice to look at. I'm a little bit addicted to it. I check it all the time. I really shouldn't, but it's just one of those nice things to check. Moving over from, I used to use Google Keep all the time, and I was really happy with it. And I've still got Google Keep on here, but I have moved over to using Notes a lot on the iPhone. I think it's actually really good. I really like all the options you get with the Notes. You've got loads of different stuff down here. It's a bit more flexible than Google Keep in general. I like being able to just kind of draw things. I know you can do all that sort of stuff in Google Keep, but the Notes app just kind of makes it quite nice and easy to use. In terms of storage, I've actually switched to OneDrive Premium now. Weirdly, iCloud storage was really cheap. It's like £2.50 for 200 gig, and I'm paying £5.99 a month for OneDrive, but you get Microsoft Word of it, which is kind of cool, and all my stuff's already on here, and I just really couldn't be bothered to download it all and re-upload it to iCloud, so I just bit the bullet the other day and got OneDrive Premium, which is where I keep all of my stuff. I got 1 terabyte of storage on there, and like I say, you get everything from Microsoft, so all the Office stuff. Not that I massively use it, I'm kind of more of a Google Docs guy when I write up scripts for these sorts of things, but yeah, anything there. But I've got it there if I need it. Messages, iMessage, again, it's one of those things that is just very iPhone-y, and once you're into it, it's really difficult to get out of it in a weird way. Imgur or Imager, however you want to say it, one of those things I've used for a long time. It's like a picture book version of Reddit, and I've talked about it a lot of times on this channel. It's just funny picture after funny picture after funny picture of general rubbish. Instagram's another one. Obviously you can follow me on there at Byte Review. and I follow a lot of, again, tech YouTubers and photographers and that sort of thing. Apple News I actually really like. It's kind of tailored itself a bit to me as well, so I get lots of stuff about photo news generally, and it's actually really nicely laid out. This is kind of like a similar vibe to the App Store in terms of, I guess it was a redesign a while ago, but I just love the way it looks, and it's actually really it's just a nice looking app, and it works really well, and you can kind of pick stuff that you're interested in. Reddit has made it to the homepage now, which is the ultimate time waster. I love Reddit. If you don't know what Reddit is, oh man, it's just like the internet. It is everything that's fun and decent on the internet, or interesting or shocking and everything. It's just brilliant. You can pick kind of subreddits that you're interested in. I really like the battle stations one and some of the gaming ones, and obviously phone ones and stuff, but Sony Alpha camera is really good as well. It's really vibrant. You get some things on there which are amazing, and you can post stuff, and it's just great. Reddit is a really fun app to use, and like I say, a massive waste of time if you need to waste time. Settings, obviously, we all need settings now and then. Not something massively interesting I'll go into. Down the bottom we've got phone, Safari, WhatsApp. In the UK, WhatsApp is like massive. That's all we use. All my group chats and everything in WhatsApp, and we use WhatsApp all the time. So pushing over to the second page, this is just kind of all the folders for all the kind of this and that kind of apps I don't really use that much. I do have a few apps open here because I use them more frequently than I use anything in there. I'll explain those towards the end, but I've got a photo editing app here which has got all my favourite photo editing apps. One of them that I've started using a lot recently, and I actually have used it quite a long time, is Adobe Capture. And the best way to explain it is that you point your camera at something and it will capture the colours of a picture or any scene that you like the look of, and it will save it to your Creative Cloud, and you can pick it down later if you're in Photoshop or something. Really cool, really like that. And I try and use it when I'm making videos, so I try and keep to at least one colour scheme, and that's a lot of the times how I find them. Visco, Afterlight and Enlight are the photo editing apps of choice. Visco I've talked about 1,000 times before, but it is a perfect way to edit your photos. I haven't got many in here because I haven't had my iPhone massively long, but it's just a really cool photo editing app, and it's got so many things on here. I've spent probably upwards of, I don't know, £10 on filters and stuff, but they are worth it. I really like them. Afterlight is a paid app as well, and so is Enlight. They're just really good for kind of adding flares and stuff to your photos, and Enlight you can go in a bit more detail and do loads of different things. Play Memories is good for transferring photos from my Sony camera to my phone. It's not a perfect app, but it does the job. And DJI Go 4 is obviously just for doing drones, which I've got DJI Spark. Nothing massively interesting in the money situations, just how I check my general balances. In storage, etc., it's just like the storage things I wasn't using and other little bits and bobs. I was using a combination of Mega Drive and OneDrive and iCloud to store all my stuff, but I just kind of had a whatever moment and just ended up buying OneDrive. So I've still got little bits and bobs in there which I need to transfer over. Extras is just little bits and bobs I don't really use. Like you'll notice Snapchat, really have stopped using that recently. Instagram kind of took over, and I kind of feel like Snapchat did a redesign and no one liked it, and then loads of, even my friends have just stopped using it completely. Instagram just seems to be the way forward at the moment. I kind of hope it comes back in a weird way, because Snapchat did make up stories and all that, but I guess we'll see. Xbox I actually quite like, because I can check if my friends are online before I log on to play some PUBG or some Overwatch or anything like that. The app's not fantastic, but it's a good way of seeing who's online and what people have been up to, basically. But yeah, quite like that. You can view your clips that you've videoed and stuff. So Xbox app. Tasty, you've probably seen it on Facebook or something, but it always gives you this really quick gif of how to make some food, and then it always makes you really want to try it and make it, and then you never do, and you just end up saving it. So I downloaded the app. I've tried one recipe and it was okay. Maybe I'll use it again, maybe I won't, who knows. But Apple, which is all the Apple apps which you kind of like, you can get rid of, but I don't know, I kind of keep them there just in case. Clash Royale is the only game I kind of play at the moment that I generally enjoy. It's good for wasting time. If you've got 3 or 4 minutes or something, it's just a good way to burn a few minutes. I won't go into it, it's not a sponsored video or anything, it's just a fun game I like to play. Facebook Messenger there, which is obviously for talking to people through Facebook. You kind of use it relatively amount, which is why it's there. So the last app, and I've only just got it, is Dark Sky. So Dark Sky is like a weather app, but it's really nice. Really well designed, and it's really good at giving you updates of when it's going to rain and how long it's going to rain for, and you can set up custom alerts for all sorts of different things. Really like it actually, and it kind of gives you a breakdown of what the weather's going to do. You can push over to the right and see what's going on all your other days of the week, and over to the left is like a big thing of the world, and you can kind of spin it around, and it's all live kind of satellites of weather and all that sort of stuff. Really nice app, and like I say, it gives you the timeline of what's going on down here. It also gives you notifications as well. You might have seen one pop up earlier, but it tells you, literally will give you a 5 minute or 10 minute warning, like it's going to rain in 5 minutes, so be careful, put your coat on or something if you're going to go out. I actually really like that feature about it. So to round up, on the left hand side we've obviously got the iPhone's version of widgets. Dark Sky's got a really good one. It tells you what's going on and it gives you warnings and stuff, and it can tell you what's going on for the rest of the day, which we really like. Up next is just what you've got on your calendar. The AdSense app doesn't really show you what you've earned unless I've been earning nothing, which is probably quite reasonable. It just shows you how many page views you've had today, which is quite interesting. Google Keep's actually got a really nice one, and the News app's really nice too, just shows you a few things of what's going on. You can click in there. I think Apple's done quite a good job of adding widgets. There's loads of different ones now, which I really like, but those are the ones I use the most. So that's everything I've got on my iPhone right now. If you've got any cool suggestions for apps that I have like overlooked or something, then please let me know in the comments below. But as for now, that's how I've got things set up, and I probably won't be changing it massively over the next few months. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to pop it a like, and I will see you all in the next one.